You know that feeling, right? You're having a perfectly good day, and then bam, someone compares you to somebody else, and your mood just plummets. Well, if that sounds familiar, you're definitely not alone. And here's the thing, it's not because you're too sensitive. Let's dive into the real psychology behind why this happens. Ah, this one's a classic, isn't it? Why can't you just do what they did? Now, the person saying it might think they're being helpful, giving you a little motivational push, but for so many of us, it doesn't land that way at all. It just fuds. Instead of feeling inspired, you feel this wave of anger, or maybe you just go completely quiet. So, this is the big question we're tackling. Why does a simple comparison feel like a full-on personal attack? Well, the answer is fascinating, and it has almost nothing to do with your character and everything to do with how your brain is wired to protect you. Okay, let's start with what's actually going on inside your head. When you feel that sting from a comparison, it's not you just overreacting. Nope. It's a very real, very powerful neurological defense system kicking into high gear. This is where it gets really interesting. There's this huge gap between what someone says and what your brain hears. They might say, look how far she is ahead of you, but your brain's internal translator hears, you are not enough. They say, he accomplished this, why can't you? And your brain hears a threat alarm, warning, your identity is under attack. And what happens when your brain perceives a threat? It throws up its defenses. For you, that might look like a sudden flash of anger. Or maybe you're the type to just go completely silent, like a wall just went up. Or maybe you get this overwhelming urge to literally just walk away, get out of there. The key thing to get is that these aren't character flaws. They are your brain's ancient protective instincts doing their job. So where does this super sensitive wiring even come from? Well, a lot of the time it's an echo from our childhood, from a time when our value felt like it was constantly being measured against siblings or classmates or friends. This whole process can build something psychologists call conditional self-worth. It's this really deep-seated belief, you might not even know you have it, that love and acceptance aren't just given freely. It's the feeling that you have to earn them by being the best or the smartest or the most useful person in the room. And this just nails the result, doesn't it? As an adult with that kind of wiring, a simple comparison doesn't feel like a casual comment. Not even close. It feels like a high-stakes performance review where your entire value as a person is suddenly on the line, all over again. This brings us to a really critical fork in the road. Because for some people, comparison can be motivating. But for those of us with that conditional self-worth wiring, it often leads down a very, very different path. Shame. You can see the two outcomes right here. On one side, you've got inspiration. That's when someone sees another person's success and thinks, hey, I can do that too. I can improve. But on the other side, you've got shame. And that's when the internal monologue just switches to, see, I'll never be good enough. And that just leads to a total shutdown. And, oh man, this shame shutdown is such a vicious cycle. First, the comparison is made. Then that triggers shame. And let me tell you, shame is a terrible, terrible motivator. It doesn't make us want to strive. It makes us want to hide. So naturally, our motivation completely collapses, and any progress we were making comes to a grinding halt. But it's not all about past hurts. There's another really important layer to this. That feeling of being attacked is also about what you value right here, right now, in your inner world. Think about it. A lot of the time, the people who hate comparison the most are already their own biggest critics. You probably have incredibly high internal standards. You're already pushing yourself constantly. So when someone else compares you, it feels redundant and honestly kind of insulting. It's like all the hard work you're putting in is completely invisible to them. This really gets to the core of the conflict. The person comparing you is measuring success based on competition. It's all about ranking, about who's beating who. But you might be focused on individuality. The only question that matters to you is, am I better than I was yesterday? They're trying to drag you into a race you never even signed up for. So how do we fix this? The key is to completely reframe the whole experience, to see this reaction not as a weakness, but as a powerful sign of what you truly value deep down. This right here is the main takeaway. Your deep discomfort with being compared isn't a flaw. It's a signal. It's a powerful sign that you value your own unique path, that you prioritize personal growth and autonomy over some imaginary leaderboard that somebody else made up. So let's end with this powerful idea. Your worth isn't determined by where you stand next to someone else. It's not a stock price that fluctuates, it's a constant. It's a reality, completely independent of anyone else's journey. And that leaves us with one last thought to carry with you. If you were to fully step away from that need to rank yourself against others, just imagine all the energy that would free up. What could you finally start building for yourself?